Okay, here we are. Carolina, thank you so much for your submission. Let's go ahead and take a look. Local events, wasn't sure if you really needed a theme. You don't need a theme. That baseball, football, basketball example, that was just an example, so you don't need the theme here. It's just three separate topics. So let's go ahead and jump over to your presentation. Nice presentation, though. Great sketches. Really, really high degree of communicative intent here, which is fantastic. And I say this because it's specifically relevant to your upcoming career in that your expectation of sketches is that is something that should really be developed to a high degree. The reason for this, of course, is you'll be able to communicate your ideas very clearly to your creative directors, your art directors, or even your client. So, but that said, I do want to say that it's not important that you don't have to be a fantastic sketch artist in order to create sketches that communicate intent, right? Just as long as they're accurate. And I tell a lot of designers, design students who aren't great sketch artists, that if you just assist your sketches with labels, that's enough. So really the only thing you're really trying to do here is communicate your ideas. But being somebody who looks like they're relatively talented in sketching, this is fantastic. These are great sketches. They are, because they really show intent. You're showing the movement and the type. You're showing this kind of distress type here, the type within the drum. All of the placement of the type is set up beautifully, very nicely done. This depicts this choice of your typeface quite nicely. So really great job here. Okay, so it looks like you've defined your target audience, and I just want to include, and I end up saying this quite often in the first week of class here, is that you really wanted to define your target audience as detailed as possible, and that's always going to be the case in design. So I think that one thing that I think students underestimate is the demands of any given project, the demands based on target audience. So defining that target audience to the nth degree is extremely, extremely important. As well as enjoy. This is good, though. This is really fantastic. Target audience for this poster generally all ages. You know what? You want to stay away from that. You definitely want to stay away from all ages, because we can't communicate to all ages simultaneously. There is always going to be a specific and defined target audience in your projects. So it's up to you as a designer to define, determine and define that target audience and describe it as accurately as possible. So try to stay away from terms like all ages, or try to stay away from keeping your target audience too broad. This is this is a summer bash, a summer party. Nice job. Really good job. And then good job on your target audience. There's people who enjoy seeing and meeting local artists. That's fantastic. Always try to include an age group in your target audience too. It's really, really, that's important too. And of course that stands to reason, because we communicate differently to different ages of people. So if we can define an age group for the target audience, it will assist us in our determination of the most expeditious way to communicate with that specific group. So, all right. Now, as far as the work goes, they're really good job here. Now, one concern about the poster examples is that they're mostly typographic in nature, and that's fantastic, but I'm looking for illustration in this class, and rightfully so, right? It's an illustration class, right? So I'm going to be trying to push your expertise in Illustrator and illustrative techniques, and I think that this is a great place to start. Is just to mention that you really want to include as many interesting, and I shouldn't say as many, you want your illustrations to be as interesting as possible, and you want to try to push your comfort level. So step out of your comfort level and try to use techniques that you haven't used before, and really try to push yourself. It's really the only way to learn. I'm sure you'll agree with me there. So this piece right here is interesting, however, but the only illustrative technique we have here is these kind of serpentine lines. And that's not really quite enough for an illustration class. I'd say for a typography class, yeah, we could definitely start to concentrate on typographic technique here, but there's just not a whole lot of illustration to mention in this particular piece. Does that make sense? I hope so. Please let me know, because it's pretty important. So the point here is that I'm trying to get all students to concentrate their efforts on their illustrative techniques. Okay, so Carolina, great job, great presentation, good job here. Really, really solid work. Keep up the great work in your presentations moving forward. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know as soon as possible, and I'll be glad to clarify. All right. All right, excellent job, Caroline. Thank you very much.